Hi, this is Jim Mann with Homestyle Southern Cooking. Welcome back. Today we're going to do a holiday favorite. It just wouldn't be Christmas or the holidays without sugar cookies. So today I'm going to show you my recipe on how I make my sugar cookies and the sugar cookie cutouts. First of all, I've got 2 sticks of softened butter. Now this is just what I do. You can use 2 regular sticks. This is salted butter, and I got 1 stick of unsalted. It makes no difference. It's just the way I do it. You can use 2 sticks of salted and 2 sticks of unsalted. Either way, it makes no difference. It's just the way that I do it. To that, I'm going to add my brown sugar. I've got 1 cup of brown sugar, and I've got that packed. Let me hook this on here. And then I've got a half a cup of white sugar. I like to mix the 2 together. The brown sugar just gives it, I think, a different texture and flavor that you don't find with just using just white sugar. Now I've got my stand mixer, and I'm slowly going to turn this on and blend these together. I'll show you just in a second. When it first starts out, it's sort of crumbly looking, okay? But then it comes together. This is a recipe that just wouldn't be Christmas without sugar cookies. Okay, I'm going to turn it up just a little bit more. Okay, and as you can see, let me take this off just so I can show you. It's sort of a combined texture, okay? I'll put this back on here. Okay, next what I'm going to do is I've got 2 eggs at room temperature. I'm going to put the eggs in my bowl here. There's 1. There's 2. And then I'm going to put 2 teaspoons of vanilla in with my eggs. 1, 2. 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Now I'm going to turn my blender back on, and I'm going to add 1 egg at a time. And that's sort of all mixed together. And there's the other egg. And you see it's really creaming together really, really nicely there now. Okay, now we'll turn this off for a second and show you the second step. Now I'm going to work with my dry ingredients. I'm starting off with 4 cups of flour. You might find out that you might need to add more. It depends on where you are and the temperature and the altitude and everything. I've got some extra flour just in case. I like to add baking powder into my cookies. The reason why, baking powder helps things rise up. So I'm going to add 1 whole teaspoon. I know some people say, "Boy, that's a lot." This is a half teaspoon measure. I'm going to add a whole teaspoon of baking soda. Then I'm going to add a half a teaspoon of just regular salt. And I'm going to stir those together around a little bit so to mix around, so I make sure that I get that in my flour. Okay, and the next step I'm going to do is I'm going to get a spoon. I'm going to turn this on again, and I'm going to start adding a spoonful at a time. You don't want to add all of it at one time. You want to add just a little bit at a time so it has time to incorporate with your mixture. Okay, I tell you what, let me get all this in there, then I'll show you what it's supposed to look like at the end. Okay, you can see now that the flour has really, really come together, and that's where you want it to be. I'm gonna turn it off for a second. And you see it's no longer sticking to the sides. And actually want to take a piece of it and try it. And I can see, I can actually handle that for rolling out. So I know my dough is pretty ready. I was going to add a little bit, just a tad more flour, but I think it's fine from where it is right now. So I'm going to take this alpha here and get it out of here, and then I'll come back and show you what to do. Okay, I've got everything cleaned up, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut 2 pieces of parchment paper, and they're going to be rather long. And I'll tell you why I'm doing it this way. If I can get them on here. Okay. All right, now I can turn my dough out onto one of them. And as you see it's really firm, and that's what you really want for your sugar cookies if you could be rolling them out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take and I'm going to cut, make a little circle here. I'm going to cut this in half and just use half of it right now. Then I'm going to take this and I'll make it into a nice little disc. As you can see, it doesn't stick to my hands. It's perfect consistency. I'm going to put it on the parchment paper. I'm going to take the other piece of parchment paper and put it on top of it. And if you notice, I have enough down here on my other side over here that I can lean up against this and actually hold the parchment paper, which is really cool, so it won't slide. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to push the dough down the parchment paper, and then grab my rolling pin and press it down a few times. And then I'm going to start rolling it out. I want to get it about 1/8 of an inch. Okay. Now, there are all sorts of tricks and guides. You can get, you can get paint sticks and put on each side if you want all your cookies the perfect shape. But I just sort of eye it to see that they're 1/4 of an inch. All right, we'll get this good and rolled out here. Well, I'm going to check the thickness of it. And that's pretty good. I'm going to leave it just like that. Take this off. And what I'm going to do is I've got my cookie sheets right over here. My oven's been on for 350. And I chose 4 cookie shapes. I have hundreds of these, but I chose to do a Christmas light, a star, a snowman, and a Christmas tree. So what I'm going to do, you can use the metal or the plastic, whatever you want. I just like the metal ones because they seem to cut a sharper shape. So anyhow, I'm going to put this down into my dough, and I'm going to push it down, and I'm going to wiggle it just a little bit. Let's use our Christmas light. Okay, let's use our Christmas tree. Just wiggling it a little bit is easier to get up at the end. And then we got our snowman here. Don't want to forget Frosty. In many places I know today that Frosty is actually happening. I called my daughter in the States, and she said, "Dad, it's snowing here. It's snowing here. It's beautiful." And I said, "Well, being in the tropics, it's definitely not snowing here." But anyhow, oh, I forgot my star. Let me see if I can get one star here. Okay, then what I'm going to do, can I get one more in there? Let's see if I can get one more in there. Yeah, I sure can. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pick my dough up that's rounded. And I put it with the other dough. Now the whole thing about this, you don't want to overwork this dough that you're taking up because it will get tough. But anyhow, what I'm going to do is I've got my cookie sheet here, and you can see how easy these are to pick up. There's a Christmas star. Let me get a little bit of dough off of there. There's a Christmas star. There's the Christmas ornament. And of course, I'm trying to work fast too, which is, if you're at home, you don't need to work as fast as I do. So, but anyhow, get all this out in between. And that's why I tell you to wiggle it around, because it loosens it from the sides and everything. All right, let's get this other Christmas ornament, Christmas light, and let's put him on here. Okay, let's don't forget Frosty. Let's put Frosty on here. I got another Christmas light. I tell you what, let me get all these on the tray, and I'll be right back with you. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these and put these in the refrigerator for about 10 minutes. And while these are getting cooler, I'll do my second tray. So I'm going to put these in the refrigerator, and I'll be right back. Okay, I just got these out of the refrigerator, and I'm going to put them in the oven for anywhere from 7 to 10 minutes. You just have to keep a watch on them until they get golden brown. Now this batch I just cut out while you're away, so we'll put these in the refrigerator to get cold while those are cooking. So let me put these in the refrigerator, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, my cookies have been in the oven a little over 10 minutes, so I'm going to get them out. And you probably can't tell, but they're slightly golden brown on the top, and you see the brownness along the edges. And if you notice, there wasn't a lot of spread, but you notice how thick they are. These would be perfect cookies for icing, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave these on the tray for about 2 or 3 minutes and let them cool down, and I'll put my other batch in the oven, and I'll come back and we'll finish this all up, and I'll show you what we have. Okay, I'm going to put the last one on my drying rack, and I'll let this set in cool, and I'm going to start another batch up, and then we'll finish the whole thing up. I'll see you back in a few minutes. Okay, we got all of our cookies out of the oven and everything, and the last batch was on the drying rack, and they're cool now, so we're going to put them on there. See, they're nice and golden brown on the top. We've got our snowman, we've got our star, we've got our Christmas tree, we've got our Christmas light, another snowman, star, Christmas tree. So this is a beautiful batch of sugar cookies that you could serve or take as a gift somewhere. And they're great size. As you can see, they're thick. These would be great cookies to do icing on to decorate them, but I like them just plain for the holidays. So I hope you enjoy this recipe. You'll try it, and I'll say Merry Christmas early. Thank you for your support. Find me on Facebook and like me if you would, and subscribe to me on YouTube, and you'll never miss another recipe. Until next time you invite me into your home, I hope you try this. Take care of yourself. This is Jim in Mexico. God bless.